The nitrous bottle got loose and started spraying everywhere. One of my best friends in the car world, his name is Christopher, and Christopher has been there for me since day one, probably since like 2015. He was the one who found my 240SX project car. He towed it back home to Virginia with me. We have a really close relationship. The guy's just a good dude. There's just no way around it. So he also had this 990 wheel horsepower Mitsubishi Evo that was absolutely ridiculous. It was so scary. And it was like driving on ice. If you didn't have drag radials on it, it was like crab walking all over the road like this when you get on it. So amazing. We had a great time. We drove it in downtown Atlanta with a parachute on the back, you know, because it was just obnoxious drag car. Everything's great. A few months later, Chris gets sick. So Chris gets very sick and has kidney failure. And I think obviously this is terrible. He has to go to dialysis 3 times a week and his life is looking pretty grim. And so everybody's trying to do their part. So fast forward to about 2 years later, he's pretty much broke and he needs to live somewhere. So we ended up taking in Chris. And he ended up selling the Evo for, you know, all kinds of reasons, you know, as you can imagine. And he ended up getting this Pontiac G8. But before that, he had a Taurus SHO and he had a BMW 535i. So he's starting to get into the big 4-door stuff. So he wanted something fast that was comfortable naturally because he was driving to dialysis all the time and medical stuff all the time. So he's just like, I need something just comfortable. So he has the 335i. He had a 2JZ IS300 with a big turbo on it. So really cool cars. Ends up getting this Pontiac G8 down in Florida that had nitrous on it, had a big cam in it, and it was like a 10-second car basically. And big old nitrous bottle in the back trunk. And he ends up showing it to, he just pulls into my driveway when he was living with me, and this here, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what sounds like they're about to throw up outside? You know, I go outside and the whole car's shaking. I'm like, Chris, what did you do? And he goes, oh, I bought it. I'm like, you bought it? And he goes, yeah, I just thought it was cool. So that was his new daily. I was like, this is your daily? He goes, I mean, I don't really got a choice right now and I wanted something cool. And I'm like, you know what? You treated yourself. That's just fine. So one day Chris says, hey, David, you should do a video on the G8. And I was like, yeah, I've done a video on a G8 before, but that was like 4 years ago. So you know what? This would be interesting. Yours is nitrous and everything. He goes, only problem is I have so many doctor's appointments, so if I'm not home and the car is home, you can take it whenever you want. Big mistake. So I actually get a call from History Channel out of all places. And they go, hey, listen, we're trying to promote the new season of Vikings, you know, huge TV show on there. And I'm like, why are you hitting me up? You know, like Vikings? They're like, well, we're trying to find people who are creative in doing really funny Instagram posts with a big giant Viking like bullhorn. So like they send me in the mail this like actual prop from the show that they've used before. And it's just this big Viking bullhorn, you know, like obnoxious call horn. And I'm like, how am I gonna do this? Like, it's a paid gig, it's good, I gotta do it. Obviously, it's History Channel. This might lead to greater things in the future. You can't say no to History Channel. And I'm just thinking, I say, okay, I'll do it. And I tell my girlfriend, okay, listen, you're gonna get this really weird thing in the mail. You're not gonna know what it is, but it's a Viking horn. She goes, why are we getting a Viking horn? And I just jokingly, I'm like, oh, I got it off Amazon for a deal or whatever. She goes, why do you need that? I'm like, I don't. So we get it in the mail, post office loses it. And I drive to 3 different post offices and they all say they don't have it. Go back to the first one. They said, oh, we had it all along. It was in the back. So I'd like to thank the United States Post Office for that stressful situation because the Instagram picture was due that day. So I needed to get the prop and get the post up by 10 at night. So they also wanted a video plugging it as well. So I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do and I cannot lose this gig. So I go outside and I'm just kind of pacing back and forth. I'm looking at my Mustang, looking at my 240, and I go, wait a minute. And there's the G8 sitting right there. One of my buddies, Tanner, is over, and I look at Tanner and I go, you think that Chris is gonna care if do you have the G8 keys? He goes, I got the G8 keys. I'm like, okay, bad move, Chris. So end up taking the G8 keys. I never driven it before, period. Like, I'd never been in it. Get in the car. And I go, okay, Tanner and Alejandra, my girlfriend, this is what we're gonna do. Tanner, you're gonna hang out of the window, act like you're doing a freaking mating call for Vikings with the horn, and I'm gonna do a massive burnout. So we hunt and hunt and hunt for about 2 hours looking for a place to do a burnout without getting in trouble. So we end up like more North Georgia, you know, there's not as much going on. I look around, like, okay, take one. And I just go for it, you know, brake stand, bam, and everything's going fine, and then the traction control kicks in. So it goes, you know, nothing happens. I'm like, uh-oh. And there's somebody, I didn't know there was a house way back in the woods. And this guy comes out and goes, what the hell is going on out there? And we're like, oh, we gotta go. So get in the car, nail it, drive away, leave 2 giant black lines, keep going. They end up turning around somewhere else. Like, okay, this is our last chance. We gotta get this stupid picture. The picture was more important than the video. So we're like, we gotta get this picture. So we do a burnout. It's a solid burnout. Nothing compared to like an Australian glorious burnout, but it's a burnout for a picture. Take the picture. Tanner's hanging out the side, almost falls out, almost drops the prop. Like, we're just trying to make it work because I tried to make it a rolling burnout. So brake stand, then kind of go away, make a big old cloud. Alejandra is running back to the car, like, we gotta get out of here, we gotta get out of here. What I didn't realize is that earlier in the day, one of the accelerations in the Pontiac G8 though had unmounted the nitrous bottle. So the nitrous bottle got loose and started spraying everywhere. So this cold nitrous is just going everywhere. Tanner's trying to get it back in place, and it's, you know, obviously his hands are getting hit by this nitrous, and that's not good, obviously. So by the time he got everything settled in, his hands were almost not even functioning. You know, they were just like so cold and everything. Got it back in place. We just unbolted the whole thing. We're like, no, just no nitrous for this event. Fast forward to later when I'm asking Tanner to hold the horn and hold everything else or hold a camera, you know, he's like trying to, because nitrous hit this poor guy's hands. So everything happens, everything goes well. Get back to the house, and Chris comes back from dialysis. We ended up walking in to the garage, and I'm like, see anything different about your G8? And he goes, why are my tires looking like they're so much more worn out? I'm like, well, you did say I could do whatever I wanted. And so I ended up showing him the clip. I was like kind of worried he would be a little mad, but no, he just laughed it off and was like, that's awesome. Still has it, and now it's being big turbo built in Florida at the moment. And Chris finally got better, found a living donor that had only met him once, ever, and was like, yeah, I'll save your life, and gave his kidney to him. So he's now doing much better. So everything kind of came full circle. So he gets to do more burnouts, and he gets to still live without dialysis or anything. So life is good.
At Dollar Shave Club, you're always in control. Simply choose the delivery dates and frequency that suits your schedule so you don't run out. Get a shave, shower, or oral care starter set for just $5 at dollarshaveclub.com.